welcome back. And with this time, we're going to Delta State and looking at the internal wranglings within the All Progressives Congress in that state. Remember the issue of the expulsion of the Deputy Senate President and the expulsion of Mr. Cairo Ojugbo from the party. Well, these are some of the things we'll be looking at with Mr. Samuel Omogor, who's a member of the All Progressives Congress in Delta State. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for having me. What's causing the rancor within your house in the APC in Delta State? Okay, it's a good question to ask what's causing the rancor. But the simple answer is that a man who got into a position of authority and decided that he did it alone, and he is the all in all, and he is the only one that can make decisions for the party, that the party is his own personal property, hijacked the entire party structure, which was actually handed over to him, sort of because he was accepted into the party. That's talking about the Deputy Senate President of Agege, who actually won the election in this first time through the Labour Party. Then from where he decamped to APC. And then immediately he was made the Deputy Senate President. He became a mini-god that nobody else must say anything. It must either be me, or he's the most senior, the highest political office holder in the state. I would like to stop you there for a moment, because the Deputy Senate President is not here to respond to this allegation. Okay. But then yesterday we had a Mr. Efe Ofobruku here, who was alleging that the major issue in the APC is being caused by Cairo Ojugbo. Okay. Yeah, Henry Efeduku is my brother and very good friend. He's the Deputy Senate President's special assistant. So what would you expect him to say? Of course, he will come here to defend his principle. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay. We'll play a film. You listen to it, and then maybe it'll help you respond to that question. Let's get that track. I am very sure if you look at your archives, you have the records of those who emerged as the executive committee of the APC in Delta State. And those names, those characters you are seeing on the so-called letter purportedly written by the school. That's the Lebo Isaac you're referring to. Yes, you know that those are not those names you see, they do not constitute the structure of the party. The state chairman of APC in Delta State is Mr. Omeni, though an elder in church, so most people refer to him as an elder. Omeni Soboti is the state chairman of APC in Delta State. His name is not on that list. That is to tell you that the names you see there are just pretenders. But most importantly, 80% of those names written there were written without the knowledge and consent of the people. Because they're members of your party as well. Yes, they're members of the party. But written without the knowledge and consent of those people. 80 to 90% of them are not even executives of the party. Somebody just created signatures for them, while the others are domestic staff of Mr. Cairo Ojugbo. All right, you heard that? Yes, I heard. It's very funny. And this is the actual situation. I mean, this kind of behavior is what led APC, Delta State, to this, the state we are in right now. The state of crisis. And these people, they are not, they will not come out to tell the truth. This crisis didn't just start today. This crisis that he is trying to deny, but I remember, I think I heard part of it, he said it too, that he referred to
something, I heard him refer to something yesterday, that like illegal faction. Though I didn't watch it, but I heard something like illegal faction. So if you say there is a faction, that is agreeing that there is a faction, which started from the Congress.
What Congress?
The
Congress, State Congress?
Yes, before the 2019 elections.
Okay. So
it's not today. So, and the executive he is trying to refer to, that is the state chairman he is trying to refer to, and every other thing he is trying to refer to, were handpicked by the Deputy Senate President, Agege.
Well, I do know that within the APC, I mean, this is something that a lot of people have wondered about. I mean, we've seen it before. There's usually the National Working Committee of the party, and then sometimes you now have extra roles given to leaders. For instance, we know that the current president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has identified as the APC national leader for many years, even though there was no such role provided for in your own constitution. So there have been questions as to, isn't that what is happening, translating at the level of Delta State, where you do not have a governor, but it will seem that the highest ranking government official there immediately assumes leadership of the party, even though there is no role for that person to perform at the national, is it the NEC level or the state council level? Isn't that what the situation? Isn't that what has caused this level of rancor within your party?
Okay, thank you very much, Mokwe, for that question. You see, yes, agreed with the way political parties are structured in Nigeria. The highest political office holder in every state is assumed to be the leader of the party. But Mokwe, you must agree with me, we are in a democratic society. So, and being in a democratic society should cross across broad in everything we do. And now this is a political party. The fact that so you as the leader, if whichever way it is, would not give directives to everybody in the party. No, I'm sure you people should know, Agege has fought with virtually everybody in the APC Delta State. He has fought with everybody, including even Festus Keyamo. They will fight to the man who was even the leader of the party, Ortega Omero. They fought. It was just before the elections that he went to him.
But so if Mr. Keyamo has not made known, I mean, of course, they might have disagreement. I don't think, have they come to the public to discuss their disagreements?
No, they will not come. They are not come to the public. I'm sure you have not heard Agege say, the Deputy Senate President say anything like that. But I am. And I know, and I'm telling you, and they know the truth.
Isn't rancor normal? I mean, within political, even in any organization, isn't that normal? Isn't how people manage it what is important?
Yes, it's in every society, even at home, in your own family, there are disagreements. But the point is, what is the disagreement? If, for instance, you say you don't want anything from anybody, it's either what you say or nothing else. So if you imagine now, let me tell you, according to them, they said, all these people he's talking about, imagine like the Cairo Jugbo they are blaming. Agege have not spoken with Dr. Cairo Jugbo for how many years? But just from nowhere, Agege set up a campaign council, and boom, Dr. Cairo Jugbo's name is there. There are a lot of the others. Chief Ima Ejiofor, who is, his name. These are people you don't even, a lot of them like that. These are people you don't even talk to. And you see, he fights with everybody. Let me tell you something. Now, the Deputy Senate President, his problems are many. If you watch the APC, the Delta State, state governorship elections, you will see that he won 4 local governments areas. And just 2 days ago, the chairman of the NDDC board, governing board, Loretta Onuche, whom they also, I don't know if you've heard that too, they also allegedly suspended, right? Wrote on our Facebook Facebook profile and listed some of the things. And she said that in everything you do in life, there are consequences. So you didn't even pick any of this. You don't speak to all these people. You don't talk to these people. You fight everybody in Delta State. Meanwhile, PDP has ruled Delta State since 1999, right? So there is hardly a home in Delta State that is not affiliated to PDP. Now you want to go. Now APC is trying to take power from PDP, and you are fighting everybody. Like I've been telling his people, his aides, I said, since over 2 years ago, I said, it will be very interesting. I am watching how you guys will fight everybody in APC. Then when you finish that fight, you will go, before you go face the PDP that have been in government since 1999, I win. I said, I would really see how you will do that. So they did not. He doesn't. Virtually everybody in Delta.
He doesn't talk to them yet. He fights them. So he fights them by not talking to them.
No. What I mean, listen. This thing, like I told you, it started from the Congress.
Okay.
It all started from the Congress, and a committee was actually set up when the problem started of 12 men. Dr. Cairo Ujugbo was one of them. He himself was one of them. But from nowhere he came out, he said, no, he's not going to be part of it. He met with, I don't know, May Malaya Bumi, the then acting chairman. So, and he said they've handed over the party to him. So when I realized that committee of 12 wise men that was set up to settle all the problems in the party, he himself dismantled. He will tell you that power is taken. That is the language he used. Even his close aides and supporters, they will tell you. So he doesn't talk. And when everybody had to do anything, you would remember a lot of these when Lorette, we know, most especially from the Delta North. Everybody, if you watch the leaders from the Delta North, because Cairo Ujugbo, he's from Delta Central, I'm from Delta Central. I'm actually from the same local government with him, Ughelli North local government. Cairo Ujugbo is from Delta North. Loretta Onuche is from Delta North. And you fight all these people. So how do you want to? Everybody. So the people of the Delta North, actually, in 2019, prior to the 2019 election, there were suggestions that, the first Ibori, who is from Delta Center, did 2 terms. Uduaga, who is from Delta South, did 2 terms. Now, Okowa is from Delta North. And with this rotation thing in Delta State, in Nigeria politics generally. So Okowa is from Delta North. If Okowa has done 1 time, if APC must do anything, APC should present somebody from Delta North, so that the people from Delta North don't feel cheated. But he said no. He pushed Great Ogboru to contest. And it is after that, for instance, he was the reason Great Ogboru left the party.
Okay, so let's go to Lagos now, because I understand they also have questions for you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mark. Indeed, some issues were raised by Mr. Fabruki yesterday, and I'd like you to respond to them. So there's been a suspension and counter-suspension, it would seem, a suspension of Mr. Cairo Ujugbo, and a counter-suspension of the DSP, which Mr. Fabruki described as an action by an illegal faction of the party, which you also referenced. So how is Mr. Ujugbo handling that suspension? At least you can speak for him to that extent.
Well, okay, thank you very much. Well, if you followed this, Dr. Cairo Ujugbo actually released a statement to that, and he called it a kangaroo expulsion, because you cannot just wake up one morning and order people to write a letter of expulsion. So Dr. Ojigbo, I'm sorry, Dr. Cairo Ojigbo is not bothered about it all.
All right. So, I mean, I'm looking at that letter dated March the 27th, and it says there are copies of a petition and recommendations from APC Ward 6 Committee, a petition from Chris Okpere, recommendations from the APC Local Government Disciplinary Committee. And also speaking with Mr. Fabruku yesterday, he said, and I'd like you to speak to that Mr. Cairo Ojigbo held a meeting where he actually spoke to people not to vote for the APC's candidate and to vote for other candidates. Did any such meeting happen? Are you aware of that? Because that's one of the things that was described as anti-party activity, for which he was subsequently expelled, according to this letter.
Okay, there was no such meeting. You see, all these are just allegations. You see, the person who was actually involved in anti-party is the Deputy Senate President himself, who worked for Labour Party, who went into agreement for Labour Party. They didn't do anything for APC, even at the presidential, before the presidential election. You can go, they can bring them, let them come here, I mean, to tell you that, yes, let them explain why or how during the presidential election in 2023, in 2019, during the 2019 elections, Nigeria, the APC got over 27% of votes cast during the election. Then we don't have anybody. And now Delta State has the Deputy Senate President who think he's the most powerful man, and then APC could not even get 20% in the last presidential election. He worked for them. There was agreement. You will see there is some days to the election. Maybe you would have seen it. There is a video. There was a video that the Delta State Labour Party gubernatorial candidate and his supporters were going around the city of Warri. Use the video. They were cutting the pictures of Agege from, the picture of Peter Obi from Agege's banners and posters all over the city. So you imagine you are a Deputy Senate President and a government that is in power. You know, you have a party candidate. Meanwhile, they are putting your pictures and that of another candidate from another party to run when in an election, when the pictures of Tinubu and Shetima were supposed to be the ones in, and there is even another picture at his country home with other obedience, so these so-called obedient supporters with a banner. These things are out there.
Okay, Mr. Omogor, I think we'll just hang it up here at this point in time. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. We do hope that you guys are able to resolve the rancor within the House so that there'll be peace in Delta State.
Of course, that is what we want.
Thank you so much for coming in. Mr. Samuel Omogor is a member of the All Progressives Congress in Delta State, and he came to respond to Mr. Ken Fabruku yesterday, who spoke and said some things against Mr. Cairo Ojigbo. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.